The debate around loot boxes still rages on. Some countries have begun clamping down on loot boxes, while others insist there's no need to class them as gambling. And now France is the latest nation to speak out.
After the Belgian and Dutch gambling authorities declared loot boxes were gambling a while back, a French gambling regulator has now come out and said its piece, and here it is.
Sacre bleu. Right, that's what they said. No? Didn't say that.
I think they've got other words in French and stuff. Look, okay. Yeah.
I thought that was just what they said for stuff.
And here it is. The French gambling regulator does not consider loot boxes to be gambling, but that doesn't mean there's not a problem. The Autorité de Régulation des Jeux en Ligne, which I have just destroyed.
Autorité de Régulation des Jeux en Ligne.
Cheers, mate. Or ARGEL for short, is an independent organisation which regulates online gambling in France. In a recent report, the ARGEL acknowledged loot boxes have been around for a long time, but the recent Star Wars Battlefront II controversy brought them into the public eye and warranted closer investigation.
You were going to say investigation then.
The ARGEL said in order to classify an activity as gambling, the activity must be available to the public, a financial sacrifice must be made in anticipation of some gain, and there must be an element of chance involved. So what about loot boxes? Well, the ARGEL says loot boxes are not technically gambling, but they are close enough, which could lead to normalising gambling behaviours, and they could possibly instigate an early gambling addiction in young people.
Yes, that's what we've been saying all along, people. That's what we've been saying all along. It doesn't matter if it's gambling. It matters that it's harmful. And it says, they say it may well be harmful regardless of the gambling thing. Awesome. According to the report, the only thing stopping the ARGEL from classifying loot boxes as gambling is the items received do not necessarily have real-world monetary value. The regulator notes that the game publisher or developer would need to participate in or approve of real money trading for loot box items for it to count as gambling. So because the real-world trading mostly takes place through third-party websites, loot boxes technically aren't gambling. The ARGEL does call for coordinated action on loot boxes, but they stop short of taking action themselves. The regulator also revealed there is a publication from the Gaming Regulators European Forum on the way, which will clarify rules to publishers, raise consumer awareness, and warn parents of the dangers presented by loot boxes.
So this is just yet another jurisdiction, I guess, another country getting involved in the conversation. They've obviously been looking at it for a while. You know, it's probably safe to assume that they all started their investigations at roughly the same time, but they do things different ways or whatever. So now France has come out and said, yeah, they're not gambling, but that doesn't mean there's not a problem. It's very close to gambling and it's available to minors, which is significant. And they said there's going to be this new guidance on the way, which is like Europe-wide, and I feel like that's going to be quite big when that arrives, because a lot of companies, a lot of publishers and stuff are going to have to take note of that, because it's from the European Union, and the European Union is a big place.
I think this is exactly what we need. More conversations around loot boxes, more people being aware of it. This publication from the European Forum thing, clarifying the rules, raising awareness and warning parents of the dangers to kids. It's exactly what we need. More information to make informed decisions, and we can then take care of ourselves. You know what I mean? We don't need harsh regulations. We just need to be informed and be aware of the potential dangers, which is what this is doing. I applaud it.
And in other loot box news, EA has confirmed that FIFA 19 will actually disclose the odds of Ultimate Team packs for the first time in the series' history. Speaking to Eurogamer at the Game Lab conference in Spain, EA Sports Vice President Daryl Holt said that Ultimate Team packs will reveal the odds of winning various items from the randomly generated virtual card packs from FIFA 19 onwards. Holt told Eurogamer, quote, "For Ultimate Team, when you buy a pack, you know what you're getting. You're getting a certain number of assets that are guaranteed, and we're going to start to do pack odds disclosures that'll show you the odds of what you might get. That'll be in our product year 19 titles, so at least that aspect of understanding what the chances are of getting X, Y, and Z card." Holtz also reiterated his belief that Ultimate Team packs are not gambling because you can't cash out the items for real-world currency. Quote, "For one, we don't believe in the gambling aspect of some of the mechanics we're introducing because there is no real-world currency value to the packs, and there is the aspect of you know what you're getting with the packs in terms of the assets you expect to get." Again, two sides to this. It's good the reveal and the odds, but then you've got that other side of saying, well, we don't think this is gambling, we don't think this is a problem, they haven't got real-world value and stuff, and that's this kind of two-tier thing you're getting from EA at the moment, particularly with FIFA. Because with everything else, with Star Wars Battlefront, with like Anthem that's coming up, there are other games that aren't FIFA, they're going, yeah, no loot boxes, boxes, don't worry. Loot boxes are gone, just microtransactions. But with FIFA, because it's so huge, because it's so popular and so successful, they have to kind of go, yeah, well, you know, we're going to keep going. We don't actually think there's a problem with FIFA Ultimate Team, actually. But we're going to tell you the odds. So there is a bit of a problem. Players have actually been wanting this for a long time. They've been trying to work out the odds themselves, which is terrible. So, you know, I'm sure those players will be really delighted to see that this is actually getting supported now.
Yeah, they're telling us the odds now. Where else tells you the odds? Oh yeah, that's right, the bookies. The bookies tell you the odds.
Scratch cards, mate.
Scratch cards. When you're gambling, you get odds. When you're opening packs now, you'll get odds. Doesn't that tell you something?
Yeah, except the assets haven't. Well, yeah, here's the thing, Gareth. The assets don't actually have cash-outable value, and it's not quite the same thing as gambling as far as we're concerned here at EA.
And also in the news, Bethesda Game Studios head Todd Howard said the console versions of Fallout 6 won't have crossplay because of Sony. In an interview with German publication GameStar, Howard said he would like to see crossplay in Fallout 76, but right now they can't do it. When asked why the game wouldn't have crossplay, Howard replied saying, quote, "Sony is not as helpful as everyone would like." Sony have yet to comment on Howard's statement, but it is worth mentioning that last week PlayStation boss Sean Layden was asked about crossplay by Eurogamer at the Game Lab Developers Conference. Layden said Sony were looking at a lot of possibilities. They would arrive at a solution which would, quote, "be understood and accepted by our gaming community." I tell you what would be understood and accepted. Just allow crossplay, Sean. You don't have to look at anything. Just allow it, because that would be accepted and understood by everybody.
Very understandable, very acceptable.
So there we go. It seems like the wheels are finally turning with regard to loot boxes and gambling. Is it going in the right direction? Let us know down in the comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe using that link there if you're new. Check out more of our content on your screen there. Support us on Patreon using that link, and we'll see you again in the next video. And until then, bye for now.